Mark Anthony at Maceau Law. You saw the general video that spoke about reasons why a small business owner should contact Maceau Law. Now I want to speak more specifically to those issues we talked about, namely limit exposure to lawsuits. It's very important for small business owners. Lawsuits make you go bankrupt, and then you're not owning a business anymore, you're working for someone else, and that's not why you're going into business. I want to share with you some anecdotes of reasons why people have come to us for assistance with their small business to protect them from lawsuits. There was one client that we had who for decades worked with a sheet of paper for all their employees. And what they had their employees do was write on the sheet their hours every day. Well, eventually, there was a lawsuit by one of the former employees who made a contention that the paperwork did not reflect the hours that were worked. There was an overtime complaint made in federal court, and it became a lengthy and tedious legal process. In order to rectify that issue, there was a recommendation that they should use a time clock or an employee time clock or punch clock, however you want to call it, where employees clock in and clock out. Seems pretty standard, but a lot of small business owners start with just themselves, and they add one employee or a second employee, and they don't think about getting a time clock just for a couple of employees. Well, if the business continues to grow, culture sets in, and they forget that this may become an issue in the future, and that's what happened to my client. We don't want that to happen to you. If those issues are arising now, contact Maceau Law. We can help you. One, to defend yourself from lawsuits that may arise from having not used the time clock, and two, moving forward and having policies and procedures set in place with your business so that the time clock is effective and efficient. There are issues that could arise. For example, an employee could state, well, I was forced to clock in at such and such a time, but I was actually there earlier than when than what the time card reflects. Or I had to clock out at the end of the day, but I still had to work overtime, and that's what my contention is. We can protect you from that. Another situation that arose was with another client who had an employee who signed a non-compete agreement that would last for a certain amount of time and applied to a certain radius. Well, this employee worked for a competitor and started targeting my client's customers. That became an issue. My client came to me, and we dealt with that effectively, nipped it in the bud, and in the process, the employee's new employer became a client of mine as well. So how many of you are out there who are small business owners, are dealing with these types of issues and are concerned about limiting your exposure to lawsuits? Give us a call. We can help. Mark Anthony at Maceau Law. You deserve a break.